That's how I make bowlers duck.
2 or 3 bowlers that you really enjoyed facing.
You know, Brett Lee run and look in your eyes and say, yo, I'm going to kill you today.
Yeah.
You know, show you back there and say, yo, expect a tough session. I'm going to take down the main bowler. You know, the rest will crumble around you.
Yeah.
You know, so if you dominate their best fast bowlers, who's to come? Shaking in their pants.
Yeah, nobody wants to mess with the boss.
Hello, are you calling me? They say probably we don't have a spinner. So I say, hey, I can bowl off spin. It's the Universe Boss.
He's the Universe Boss, guys. On a very special episode of Home of Heroes, I have a cricketing legend who has changed the face of cricket as we know it. To me, he's a pioneer who's helped the game evolve to where it is today. The kind of records that he has is unfathomable for a normal cricket player. He has got the fastest 100 in T20s. He has hit over 1,000 sixes in T20 cricket. Like, what the heck? Who does these kind of things? And he's got the most number of hundreds in the IPL. Any guesses who this man is?
Robin Utapa. Can I guess the player?
Yes, please guess the player.
It's the Universe Boss.
He is the Universe Boss. Welcome to the show.
Okay, good to have me, man.
Oh,
It's
no,
good to be here. Good to be here.
I'm so
It's
happy.
good to see you as well, man.
Yeah, it's so good to see you as well. I'm so happy you're here. You've actually, come down here in quick time.
Yeah. Quick phone call,
quick
say,
phone
hey,
call.
Robin Utapa want to see you, Chris. Okay, no problem.
Let's go do it. Huh?
I'm here.
I've had the pleasure of having the front seat to a few of the innings of his lifetime. And but before I get to that, let me just kind of prop you up a little bit.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah, you love that, don't you?
Get me pumped up.
So some of the extraordinary records the Universe Boss has is he's the only player to have scored 100 in T20Is, 200 in ODIs, and a triple 100 in Test matches. The only player. I reckon if T20I started a little earlier, I reckon we would have had a 400 as well at some point.
Those were some fantastic stats you've actually read out there, Robin. You know what I'm saying?
That's special, right? That's a very special stat.
It is.
Most sixes in T20 cricket, over 1,000 sixes.
Wow.
Like after a point, it must have been like, how many should I score today? Like, what am I in the mood for today, right?
You know, it was like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, which side Chris Gayle wake up on today? You know, is he going to be 10 sixes, 15 sixes, 8 sixes?
Yeah.
I wish I was that fortunate, though.
Most sixes in international cricket. Most sixes in a T20 match. He got 18 in a BPL game. If I'm not wrong, that was the final of the BPL and kind of steamrolled the opposition.
Yeah. That was against Shakib team. Shakib, you know, Shakib bowled that last over as well. I mean, he was a bit scared to bowl early. You know?
I reckon anyone going up against him, and I've seen bowlers, guys, I have seen bowlers standing at the top of their mark saying, no.
That's true.
No.
and as a batter as well, you know, you can pick up on those weaknesses from the bowler as well, and you know you're in charge.
You can feel it.
You can feel it.
Absolutely.
You can see the intimidation on the bowler's face.
Yeah, and coming to one of those matches where I had the best seat in the house, is that highest individual score in T20 cricket. He got 175.
Wow, 175. Amazing, huh?
So
a special day, you know, not only for me, for the fans as well.
Yeah.
When I hear so many stories, you know, about that particular day, it's so fantastic. I mean, it's like the world stopped. You know, it's like when Usain Bolt running that 100-meter, you know, everything stands still. And I'm listening to some stories, some big meetings was actually taking place in that particular time, and guys like, Chris, we had to stop. You know, it was very early in the Caribbean. I remember Darren Baba say, hey, you know, you got to call, wake up, you know, history's about to be made. You don't want to miss it. So the story just goes on and on and on. And like, I say, yo, and I'm glad I'm a part of history, you know, to be able to score 100, you know, within 30 balls.
Chris, you're being humble here, my friend.
I've been too humble, huh?
This man here has actually, you've helped the game evolve to where it is in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because you've kind of and there are a couple of people who've done that, but I think you've kind of pioneered it in a sense where you've brought in the power into the game that was unheard of. I remember the first 100 you got in South Africa,
Yeah.
in the first T20 World Cup. People are celebrating that, you know, someone got the first international 100, but very few people know that it was actually you who
Yeah.
got that first international 100 against South Africa in South Africa
Against a proper bowling attack as
at a
well.
proper bowling attack,
Yep,
that one.
yep, top. Mackay
And
and Tini, Sean Pollock.
and till that point, we knew Chris Gayle to be a solid opening batsman. We didn't know he possessed the universe boss inside of him. He knew it, we didn't, and the world was yet to see it. I remember that 175, that's another part of his record. Most runs in T20s, most hundreds in the IPL, most hundreds in T20s.
Wow. It's
That
fantastic.
is a lot.
And I'm glad I'm that sort of entertainer to change the face of cricket, and, to be able to do such thing. I know you say I'm a bit humble about it, but it's so true. I'm very humble about it. I haven't really sit back and reflect, what I've done within the game.
Yeah, and we're going to do that for you today.
Okay,
we're going to help you sit back and
highlight
reflect
it
on all of it.
Highlight it for me, please, because I need to know exactly, what I've done.
So I want to go back in time, Chris.
Okay.
I want to go back in time and go back to where it all started for you. Where did it all begin for you?
You're talking T20-wise or just overall?
No, overall. We're trying to unravel.
I grew up in a community called Rollington Town, in Kingston, Kingston, Jamaica.
Kingston, Jamaica.
And my home was right here pretty much, and Lucas Cricket Club was pretty much next door to my home.
Yeah.
So I have the facilities there, cricket play on the street, day in, day out. I used to watch the likes of Delroy Morgan, because we live in the same community on the same street as well. So every single day, as a youngster, you sit outside your gate, cricket playing nonstop on the street. So automatically, you knew you was going to be a part of that. And the elders, the older guys, like, yo, Chris, you have to come and play, and you have to be a part of it. So that's how I get more involved in it. And I have 5 brothers as well.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
5 brothers.
The sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I'm the second to last one. So they all play cricket as well. And it's actually 6 of us, but 3 left-handers and 3 right-handers. So, it was just part of the generation. I have one sister, but, she played cricket as well, but not like professionally. Yeah. But she would just play with the boys them as well.
Got to tell the people out there watching this an unknown fact about your family.
Yeah.
Everyone in this family has represented West Indies.
Jamaica.
In cricket at different age groups. So they've all played international level cricket.
Yeah, they represent the country at some particular level, whether it's under 15, under 19. But the most talented one, which is Michael Crew, he's the only one that didn't represent the country at any level at all.
He was the most talented.
Yeah, and give a lot of trouble. He was the troublemaker of the family, you know what I'm saying? So Michael Crew was the most talented one, bat left-handed, do all sort of things in cricket.
But he was also your go-to guy.
Yeah, he's my go-to guy. I remember one particular story, when I scored a triple century against South Africa.
Yeah.
I was struggling, so I was in Antigua at the time, and I said, yo, who am I going to call? Who am I going to talk to? And he's like, Ghostbusters. So I said, hey, pick up So I pick up the phone. I said, let me call, talk to my brother. I said, I want to talk to, Michael. We call him Dula. So I said, I want to talk to Dula. And, he was like, bro, struggling, what do you reckon? He was like, Chris, just listen to me. I'm not going to end the long talking. When you step out to bat, just beat your way out of it. Meaning, like, just swing your bat there, but he's like, just beat your way out of it. And so said, so done. The morning, stepped out on the field. I started going from ball one, some ball edge to third man, inside edge. And then, by the time you quint, you reach 20, 30 runs.
Yeah.
And then you
realize...
you feel
like you're in.
Yeah, and everything just come back to normal, I swear. Man, everything just come back to normal. I remember getting a quick century, and everything just came back to normal. I get back my technique, every single thing just came back, and I was pretty much back in control. So that was one of my greatest moments, getting advice from my brother, Michael Crew.
Dula, thank you, from the cricketing fraternity.
Yeah, Dula.
Thank you. Dula, thank you for doing that for Chris, because I think it played a big part in making him who he is today into the world of cricket.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So most time when a batter is struggling, hey, just go for it. don't even think twice.
Don't think twice.
Just go for it from ball one.
That's awesome, Chris. So when did like cricket actually begin? Proper cricket, like representative cricket, begin for you?
It started at age 16. Being in school, I was so dominant in school. Started at Rollington Town Primary School.
Were you banging the ball then as well, or?
I was just very skinny, man. Like,
Yeah, I know.
like
Even when he came
just a
in,
small meat and bone. You know what I'm saying?
I remember, especially when he came into the scene in
Yeah.
international cricket. You were tall, you were
Very
really tall.
and lanky.
Lanky.
Yeah, they used to, and then I get the nickname called Crampy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you get cramps as well because you're
Yeah.
very skinny. That's what they come about with the name as well. So, my first coach was a woman as well.
Oh, wow.
Miss Hamilton.
Yeah.
The primary school, she represent the country as well. And, she taught me a lot. And then we have Lucas Cricket Club coach, Spikes Roden as well, and he used to take me on the concrete and throw balls day in, day out and say, you cannot undrive, you're going to undrive every single ball today.
Yeah.
And you were undrive because I was weak out of my legs, and he was like, you're very weak out of your legs. And he just so technical and, so you just make sure you just work on that weakness so often. So Mr. Spikes Roden and Miss Hamilton, those two played a big part, my career to start as well, so it was just fantastic. And then I went on to high school, and then that's when I met one of the life-changing moment as well, Mr. Paul McCallum, my coach, high school coach. So when I arrived, you have under 14 and you have under 16 and you have the under 19. It's Pepsi, Colts, and Sunlight. So I started playing under 14 now, and he was like, wow, how long I'm looking for a left-hander. As long I'm looking for a left-hander. So I was the captain for the under 14, and, we dominate. I think we actually tied with Kingston College. We shared the trophy. So, being so dominant at age, 12, 13, and then he was like, okay, you're going with the big boys. Straight away into the under 19.
Oh, amazing.
I never played one game in school under 16 level. From under 14 straight to the under 19, I was like scared. I'm like, coach, I'm not. And he's like, yo, Chris, we need an opener, and you're the one who's going to open. Hey, we had a lot of back and forth like this. We have some tall, fast bowlers against other schools. I'm not going up for those fast bowlers. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not. They say, yo, come on. With the help of some of the other players as well. Kevin Murray was a captain at that time as well. And then slowly, take my little time. And the little youngster with the tall guys, I used to take my time on bat. And I used to bat for long periods of time.
I remember that defense.
Yeah, I used to bat for a long period of time. And, eventually, you get more accustomed to it, but that was... Mr. McCallum, he was the one, say, hey, you're an opening batsman now, so you left and right kind of throw the bowlers off. I always wanted this. It was so good, so good. So, and then, gradually I grow into it, get more mature. And then, when those senior guys left school, I became the man now and then start to, captain and then, hey, calling the shots and all those sort of things as well.
Huh.
So it was really fantastic. I had some great moments in school, with the cricket and, won few trophies as well. So it's brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant.
And then how did first class cricket happen for you?
Oh, first class cricket. That's a funny story as well. You know that my first class game is actually not for Jamaica. It's not for Jamaica. I remember in school as well. I think I was like in grade 9, and the same coach, I don't know who called the school. Someone called the school, and it was pretty much about some pre-exam time around that time, and they said, hey, Chris Gayle got selected to go to India. I'm like, that's what West Indies A team. I'm like, what? So the coach gathered everybody in the school and
Which year was this, Chris?
I'm trying to remember which year, to be honest with you. I'm not so good at stats.
Love living in the moment.
Yeah, I'm not so good at stats, but I remember when I made my debut, man, and they say, Chris, you have to travel to India. I'm like, wow, for real? So they had a little get together within the school, and the coach was like, yo, Chris got selected with the West Indies A team. I'm like, what? At maybe that's your age? And it was
he must
fantastic.
have been 17.
And when I was walking home, yeah, maybe around that time. And when I was walking home, and everybody was like, Chris, you got selected because on the radio, people hear it on the radio now.
Yeah.
And I was walking home like, wow, is it for real? So I was the only one to have to get ready and travel to India. So first time traveling by myself, I'll get to India. Went to Pune at the time. That was so fun. Ian Bishop was the captain. And, that's where I made my first class debut. It was just so fantastic. And then, a fantastic story to start with the West Indies A team before I represent my country in first class cricket. So I made my debut in India, in Pune.
That is more than like 25 years ago.
Absolutely, man. 25 years ago. I
That's
still feel like I'm 25 anyway.
yeah. You bet, brother. So it's wonderful. So about almost 25 years ago
Yeah,
was when you first came to India. So there's
absolutely.
clearly a special kind of connection with India.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There
So I've
must
been
have
coming here
been.
a long, long, long time, man. I played against some guys, man. It was so fantastic. Chopra, I remember Chopra name, the off
Nikhil
spinner,
Chopra.
Nikhil Chopra.
Yeah.
Guys the off spinner. Play against Baji as well. Baji was there as well.
Yeah.
Because it was like, we
The
played
late
like,
90s. So
yeah, 2 test
all
matches.
of these guys
We
would have
call
been
it
coming.
3 test matches, but
Yeah.
4 days cricket,
Yeah.
And then we played some ODIs as well. So it was fantastic. And I remember winning the team. Ian Bishop was the captain, Raja Harper was the coach. And, they're having a general meeting and they say probably we don't have a spinner. So I say, hey, I can bowl off spin.
Did you always bowl off spin growing up? No,
When
did you bowl
No,
fast?
I bowl fast. I used to bowl fast.
You know why I'm asking?
Why?
I want to know if there's some point in your life you ran fast.
Oh, yeah, man. Yo, I love to bowl fast. Yeah, it was a short run up though. I was strong in the shoulder. It was a short run up. So those days I used to bowl the new ball. When I'm tired, I just bowl spin. So I bowl leg spin as well.
Yeah.
I'm multi-talented, man.
Yeah, he seems I promise you, he seemed like a relatively easy off spinner, but he wasn't. I've gotten out him a couple of times.
Yeah,
myself,
when you were going great guns.
Yeah,
Okay?
I was. Yeah, remember that game in
Quick
Chennai?
70 up, about 30 balls, great guns, and the captain like, who is going to call? I'm like, Chris Buster. And then the captain said, okay. I said, listen, man, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to do it very quickly. Just one over.
Sure enough, third ball or something.
Yeah.
Third ball or something.
See, game changer. Universe Boss, you got to go, youngster, on your bike.
Yeah, I was on my bike for sure. So so you played in India.
Yeah.
So clearly Destiny had some special plans with India for you.
Absolutely.
Right? When you look back at it, it's just so special when you learn these little tidbits of information from legends such as these that there's Destiny plays a big part as well.
Absolutely, that's so true, man. You would have thought, after that, you're making the first class step in India. Over the next 20 years, you're coming back and forth to India consistently, and then the IPL created, and then you still be a part of it now. No, I'm not in the IPL, but I'm still here in India. See what I'm saying? I ain't leaving.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you never leave
India, I ain't leaving.
Get him a passport, guys.
That was good, man. I love India, man. I love India. Absolutely.
I know. We love you too, Chris.
Yeah,
I think
man.
we've completely enjoyed who you are as a person, not just as a cricketer, but I think as a human being, you've spread a lot of love, a lot of joy to a lot of people around this country. So there's always love for you here.
Fantastic players, man, like yourself, younger players who, sharing the dressing room for the first time. They always like to hang around me because I like to talk a lot of crap and they like to laugh. So I'm just like to see people smile, and I'll just talk to them, give them good advice as well, and just say, hey, you have to enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
sure.
I know you guys are. Everybody's passionate, but when it comes on to the Indian culture, the guys are like uptight and tense because the competition is so stiff.
The competition's so stiff. That's exactly why they get stiff.
Yeah, the competition is so stiff, and I realize, it kind of open up a bit now. I think the Indian cricketers kind of open up now a bit more leverage.
Yeah, so the culture used to be very different back then.
Yes, man. Oh,
the culture is very different right now.
You guys were very reserved, but you guys are more bold.
Yeah, we had to
stand out and but I see the Universe Boss walk like this. I want to walk like the Universe Boss.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly how it was. Because honestly, growing up, we had to be very reserved.
Yes.
We had to be very disciplined in a sense where we had to, like, even if we felt differently, there was a certain kind of mold you had to fit in to be able to play for the country.
That's so true.
But then
so true.
But thanks to guys like you, A.B. de Villiers, say MS Dhoni for that matter, he did it very quietly. He stood out by himself. His long hair when he came in.
Absolutely. And the IPL and you have to thank the IPL and all as well.
Absolutely.
Because
without a doubt.
Bringing the international players to share dressing room with you guys,
just made the world a smaller place for you.
Changed
completely.
You guys became #1 in all formats, and it just, the rapport, it bring more. IPL just bring unity, you know what I mean? And we kind of missed the bit of aggression, the little banter and a little bit of sledging, but IPL changed all of that.
Yeah, it did. It certainly did.
Fast bowlers, just like, yo, he's my teammate in IPL. I'm not gonna sledge him. Nah, man, I miss those things, man. Those things before the IPL. Yo, Brett Lee run and look in your eyes and say, yo, I'm gonna kill you today.
Yeah.
Show back there and say, yo, expect a tough session.
Yeah.
So yo, those days was like crazy, man. It was
Yeah.
crazy. But the IPL come and change the concept of those things,
Yeah.
and you take away a little bit of, the little bit of fight.
Yeah.
But now and again you'll have a little here and there, a little bit of sledging with two particular teams, and
Correct.
but it's not like before. You know what I'm
Fair
saying?
enough.
But
I
no,
think
no
it's
one,
big-
but
I
no
think
one,
it's beginning to come back now,
yeah, but no
actually.
one would come and sledge me even before that.
Yeah.
I ain't messing with them.
Yeah, nobody wants to mess
I'm-
with the boss. Nobody wants to mess with this boss.
Now, so it's really good, man. That's the nature of it, is bring unity.
Yeah.
And it used to have that saying again.
Yeah.
Before the IPL, when the Indian players, they see the grass, they like get intimidated. But you guys became fearless.
That's right.
You guys became fearless. You guys
We
take
did.
on any condition now.
Yeah.
Any condition for the last couple of years. And it just brings some different, like you guys immortal now.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm
as
saying?
coming from there, like when you got into your first class side and eventually when you started playing cricket for West Indies,
Yeah.
what was the thought process for you? Did you feel immortal, or did you feel like, oh man, I gotta step up to the plate here now a little bit?
Well, my first, when I made my debut in 1999, it was actually in Canada, Toronto. The guys were actually in Singapore. They were doing some tri-series in Singapore. Then they did it in Sharjah, and I got a call and say, hey, there's an opportunity. And they called me and like, what? Chris Gayle going to join the senior team? So, jump on a plane.
How old are you? 21?
Yeah, around 21, yeah. Around
Yeah.
21. And then jump on a plane to Toronto. And as soon as I reached the hotel, it was in the night time, I saw a couple of the guys, coming out of the hotel. I'm like, they're going on the street or maybe to have dinner and say, hey, I'm going to drop my bags. You guys don't leave me. As a youngster coming in the team, you want to go to your room and chill. But like, I was just like, yo, I'm a youngster, a bit of carefree at the time as well.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what was ahead or what's about to happen. So I had to, throw my suitcase down and run, catch the guys, and I went out and, have a little chit chat because we are good friends anyway, and I know
Yeah.
them. They're no stranger to me.
Yeah.
And, that's how it is, but when the game actually started and, I'm playing on my first game, I was made India-Pakistan. It was a tri-series, India-Pakistan,
Pakistan, West Indies, yeah.
and I'm telling you, but I want to talk about the Pakistan one first because you used to have Shabir, Shabir, the tall
Yeah,
guy.
Shabir
And
Ahmad.
they said they get for his elbow down at the time. And when I see the crowd, I'm like, whoa, mate, I'm telling you, I was nervous. I think about it at
Can you believe it? There was a
I
time.
number 6 or number 7, I was nervous. And I was batting number 6 and number 7. Even when I was feeling on the boundary, man, and someone came from autograph, I don't even know what I read. All I know was like this. My hands was like shaking. And the guy looked at me and said, well, what is this? I couldn't even sign the signature properly. And it was, when my time to bat, man, I'm like, damn, and then going up against Shabir, and Shabir was the man at that time, and you have Mohamed Akram and those guys. Shabir, and when they could hear, the crowd chant, "Eh," and the crowd was like, "Eh," and Chris Gayle in his stance, like, "Eh." And the next thing I know, I see my half stump like this. Rolling past the wicketkeeper, I'm like, wow, welcome to international cricket, Chris Gayle. And excuse me, I'm on my bike, But it was just an experience,
Yeah, for sure.
Just an experience.
Yeah.
And I'm the first spinner in the West Indies history to open the bowling as well.
Like, who'd ever think that someone like the Universe Boss has been through a phase in his career where he was mighty nervous when the crowds were shouting?
Absolutely, man.
Right?
Absolutely.
And you'd imagine that, when the Universe Boss is batting and the crowd's shouting, you'd always imagine that would be egging him on to hit more sixes.
Yeah,
but
that's
there was
true.
a time in his life where that made him nervous. So it's absolutely fine to feel like that at some point in life.
Absolutely. At the second series, after the India-Pakistan tri-series, we traveled to Sharjah. And like I said, I started at number 6 and I was like pretty much an opener, so.
You had to earn your stripes to open the batting.
Not only that, there was like, went to Sharjah now, Shoaib Akram, Mohamed Akram, Mohamed Sami, some of the fast bowlers. And it was tri-series against Pakistan and Sri Lanka at that particular time at Sharjah. And it was like, yo, Nehemiah Perry, Brian Lara was the captain. Nehemiah Perry went to Brian Lara and said, hey, Chris is our opener, man, He's not like number 5, number 6 players. Send him early. Send him. I'm like, Perry, no. You see those fast bowlers? I said, yo, what they say? And they're like, Perry, no, what you mean? Stand up and fight. And I was
So
like,
you didn't know you had the fight in you back then.
well, not really, but you're just coming to the team. I'm not going to say anything. I'm like, Perry, that's easy. I don't want to feel like I'm saying, hey, I want to open. I opened the batting. And Brian Lara said, okay, send him at number 3. Man, I went at number 3, man, and the dew, Shoaib Akhtar was bowling. Shoaib Akhtar, Mohamed Akram. Mohamed Akram was slippery.
Yeah.
He just coming like a Michael Olin coming slow
Yeah.
down. Mohamed Akram and those guys and Sammy, rapid. And I remember I get some runs. I think I get about 20-something or 30-something in that particular game, batting at number 3. Guys splice some balls of a third man for 6. And it was fantastic, man. So, it was good. It was a good experience.
So,
and that's when I met Mutaya Mulitaran the first time in Sri Lanka.
Did you?
Yeah, I played against him as well. Yeah.
You weren't much of a talker back then, Chris.
Still not a talker.
Oh.
I'm all about action.
But I remember from the outside when I watched Chris Gayle coming into the Test squad and playing one-day cricket. It was more of a sedate batter who'd bide his time, get in, but had the power behind him. When did you discover that I have another gear here? Maybe not one. I probably have 5 more gears within me. When did you discover that?
The start of international cricket, like I said, I used a heavy bat, even when I was playing club cricket. I remember getting a Newberry bat at the time from O'Neill Cruikshank. When I scored my first century in Senior Cup, that's in club cricket, he was like, okay, because I'm always using his bats. So he's like, okay, like he's fed up and say, if you score 100, just keep the bat.
Yeah.
I said, what? Okay. Yeah. Played against St. Catherine that particular time, against top fast bowlers who represent the country, Audley Sanson and some other guys. And, I'm like, wow, I remember that so good. I got it in about 60 odd balls.
Wow.
With it is every bat, back. And then, it was so fantastic. And then finally, I get my own bat, and I was like, so it was fantastic. So sometimes a little extra drive, or somebody say, hey, okay, you want this, you do this, and then you get it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, it's like, work for it. So, I went and, and that's how I got the bat of O'Neill Cruikshank at that particular time. But the power, there wasn't any power, because those days we didn't use gym anyway.
Cricket wasn't that yet.
It
wasn't there yet.
Yeah,
at least not for teams outside of possibly Australia and England. I think those are the only teams that actually used the gym.
Yeah,
but you
we
guys
were
natural.
Yeah. We were more natural. On the physical side, on the mental side as well, we were more natural and they're super talented.
Yeah.
So we use that as our resource to dominate cricket, or to dominate any particular bowler or opponent at that particular time. So and but for me, I was very skinny. Like I said, very lanky, using a heavy bat. I was just a sweet time of the ball. Time, no sixes at those times. Just bam, 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 bam. And from under 19 leading up to first class cricket, I think when I get that sort of explosive, we used to play red stripe ball. So it's a one-day cricket, like a 50 over red stripe ball at that time. And I think that's when I sort of get a bit more aggressive, and then started taking on bowlers, and, you get that extra drive, and then it's just become natural, and then, you get introduced to the gym as well.
Yeah.
And, as a youngster, your eyes are pretty sharp, your hands-eye coordination are so quick, and, and it just came natural. It just came naturally.
Before we go into the range-hitting bit a little bit more, 6-hitting, T20 cricket a little bit more, I'd like to touch upon your 100 in Test cricket. I remember you saying that when you went in the bat after your conversation with your brother, you went then kind of hacked your way in a 30, and then you eased your way into 100. What was the journey after that?
The journey after that first 100, the journey was like, I'm in demand. I can pick and choose who I want to take them, what particular time, who want to take more chances off as well, regardless if it's a test match or what, but everything was so natural, back, like I said, you get back your form, you get back your technique, pretty much everything. So I just bat, just bat. Say I'm just gonna bat as long as possible.
Yeah.
And eventually, you bat out the entire day, then you realize you score over 150, or you get close to 200.
Yeah.
And then, like I say, you get fresh again. You come back the next day and you start over again, and you just get it. But after a while, you're gonna feel the wear and tear.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel the wear and tear, because I remember when I went in the dressing room and the physio was like, you want to change your socks, but you're going to be superstitious a bit now. Like, you don't want to change it. You don't want to change your shirt. It's like, yo, don't touch nothing. But eventually, you're using like a 3 pound, but it feels like 4 pounds.
Yeah.
And you just start to lose that sort of energy without even realizing the concentration kind of drop a bit as well. So at some stage, you're gonna find you're gonna play a false shot, or but that's what happened, but it was an experience, and I experienced that in the second triple century as well.
Yeah.
The bat get extra heavy as well, and I did score my first century quickly again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I raced to a quick century, and that was against Sri Lanka and Gaul as well.
Correct.
Yeah, so you have to give credit to a player like Brian Lara to score 400. And
I was just going to bring that up.
Score 500
that is
as
your
well.
childhood hero, isn't he?
I mean, Brian was the one I love to watch.
Yeah.
I love to watch Brian Lara, Brian Lara on the go.
Did you ever try to copy him?
Nah, I can't do that, man. So I'm tall, man, and I'm more bringing sexy back as well, too. Yeah, so... Yeah.
Well done, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But Sir Charles on the go, fantastic. Even before representing West Indies, I remember he scored a double century at Sabina Park when him and Jimmy Adams batted out that particular day. I was at the party stand watching that, and it was like 2-2s. I wasn't even thinking about playing or sharing the dressing room or expecting I'm going to be that. And I watched that test match against Australia, man. Those two dominating the entire day, and I was like, yo. On the mound, having a great time, drinking a few, and but by the time you quit a couple of weeks, Chris Gayle get called up, and like, wow, I'm sharing dressing room. I just saw this man score a double century now. Now I'm sharing dressing room. That's when I went to Toronto. Now I'm sharing dressing room with these guys, Courtney Ambrose, Courtney Walsh, Brian Lara, and all those rest of guys, So it was like, wow, Carl Hooper was just fantastic, man.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Thanks for sharing that story. There wasn't any moment in time when Chris Gayle felt, I'm going to change the way I play.
Nah, not really. You just came naturally.
Just kind of came to you over a period of time.
I never say, yo, I'm going to start hitting sixes. Everything just was just naturally, and it just looked so easy. But, that's when I was not introduced, but when I started doing more range hitting now.
Yeah.
And then I kind of
When did you start doing that? Can you remember?
Doing that. No, I don't remember exactly, but this was doing first class, the same red stripe ball. So when you do range hitting, it's just you in the middle.
Yeah.
When you see the ball just flying, because most time we're batting in nets, you just play a shot in the net, it just
Yeah.
But when you outside and you're doing range hitting and you see the ball flying, it's different mindset.
I've always wanted to ask you.
It is a different mindset.
I've always wanted to ask this man, what does it feel to Chris Gayle when he sees the ball flying like that? What do you feel inside?
Oh, the adrenaline, like, yeah, go, 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 go. Yeah, it's just a nice feeling, natural feelings. More so for the fans, because they want to be entertained as well, and they kind of actually give me that extra drive, to even hit more sixes.
Yeah.
I kind of react to the crowd, I react to the people, the fans, and that's how I start to say, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna entertain.
Yeah.
And just we'll take down bowlers, or make a competition of it, and just trying to take down bowlers and make it as fun as possible.
As fun as possible.
Yeah, make it as fun as possible, and then and it just become that explosive, and it just six is like hitting a boundary from like hitting a 4 as well, So that's like natural, without even thinking. But sometimes you play it as well. You pick up somebody. It's not like you want to hit it for 6,
but it just goes.
But it just goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
It's not like you want to hit it for 6, but it just goes. So it's just one of those moments, and it's just superb, man. And just to see that happening, and for the last couple of years, the boundaries get a bit smaller as well.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the boundaries get a bit smaller as well. The grounds get smaller. Well, they make the ropes for more, I guess, more for more entertaining as well.
Entertainments, yeah.
So that's another thing we have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
And so it's everybody's hitting sixes now. Sixes coming like, a butter chicken and steamed rice, right?
Fair enough.
what I'm saying?
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's an easy meal. Oh, yeah. So it's just fantastic, man. And what I really enjoyed it though, I like seeing it though, and everybody like, oh, you make it look so easy. But
Yeah, you didn't make
I
it.
practice for it, man.
You did
Range
practice
it
for
in
it.
was my key.
Here we are. We've brought you to a wicket. We've given the
Hey.
range for you. There's enough range here.
It's a bit green.
It's a bit.
It's a green top of range it in.
But we make it easy for you. Don't worry. We do respect.
Is that mine?
Well, who do you think that is? Huh?
Yo.
But that's. I gotta say, I've actually held the Universe's Boss's bat, and I can tell you this is easily 1.5 pounds lighter than what I've picked up.
Yeah, it is.
What I've picked up when he scored that 175, I remember during the timeout, I went and picked up his bat and I asked Chris, like, how do you do this, brother?
Yeah. Look at the difference. Yeah.
I'll show you one of my bats and you can see the difference. Like, so that's my bat, right? The width is all the same, but you can see, as in this is like half the size of his bat. So you can only imagine how much bigger his bats are. And his bats are easily an inch longer than mine.
Yeah.
And his handle is easily, longer than mine.
It's all about getting smarter, okay? the younger generation are a bit faster now, and
We can share these trade secrets now because he's taking it easy on the world and he said, I'll let the other guys set the stage on fire now. I've set the standard. Let them meet it now.
Absolutely, without a doubt,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a much lighter bat now, to be honest with you, because those days I like to use heavy bats, and the bat is very important. It doesn't matter the grains or anything with me. Once I pick up a bat and I feel it, I say yes. That's it for me. I don't know. I see you guys do all this. It's like, hello, are you calling me? Bowlers, you need help? You know what I'm saying? But for me, once I pick up a bat, pretty much, I'm ready. I feel like, yes, I'm in charge and I can take a chance once I'm comfortable with my bat. So that's very, very important for me. And, say, okay, I can take it. If I pick up a bat and I feel timid, I'm gonna be hesitant.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hesitant if I don't trust my bat. If you don't trust your bat, you're going to be in trouble.
So a lot of your confidence comes from
the bat.
From the bat.
Yeah, a lot of confidence comes from the bat. I feel like mighty powerful. But like I said, it's a bit smaller now. You get up in age. You have some younger bowlers want to prove against the Universe Boss and want to take your head off. But I get smarter. Okay.
That's exactly the point, right?
Get smarter for you guys.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point for youngsters to take up, especially not just youngsters, but I said even experienced players.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Experienced players.
Like as you get older, you need to humble yourself and say, maybe a few things are slowing down a little bit, and it's probably like if the Universe Boss can do it, if Chris Gayle can do it, then most certainly others can take that into this, right?
Hand speed you use your lighter, but you kind of get back to your hand speed, and because when you're younger, everybody get quick hands, but it's a lighter bat as well, so you still kind of have a bit of hand speed, so which is good.
All right,
and but still good bat, good meat, same bowler, same treatment.
So we're at the range with the Universe Boss, and we're going to get him to hit a few balls and kind of hope that he lets us into a few of his trade secrets as to how to hit the ball as big as he does.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
A few tips here, youngsters. Look and learn.
Yeah, look and learn. Let's get into it, guys. Oh, yes.
Monster!
No one's catching that.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those when I was standing right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been behind those stumps
Stop.
and I've seen them go that far. I've gone from there to, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
We call that crick neck.
Well done. Ah! Well done. But tell me something. This bat, and like something I always want to ask you, when you bat and hit sixes the way you do, when do you feel you hit the ball the farthest? When you smash the ball or when you actually just time it?
I think the timing is better.
You
know,
think?
when you time it sometimes, even if you're batting against a spinner and you don't reach the pitch of the ball, it's all about timing, the momentum, get that ball over the boundary as well.
Yeah.
Because the minute you start to swing hard, you lose your shape and your head is all over the place as well. So
Did you actually think about all of that stuff?
sometimes, because sometimes we as batters, we definitely take a go. We take a proper swing at the ball.
Yeah.
And sometimes when the way we swing, sometimes you get all off balance as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you want to hit it so hard.
Yeah.
So it's more like, okay, get more, bat and ball and the timing and it will still go rather than try to go for strength and power.
I love this. So you realize that even someone like the Universe Boss thinks about his technique a little bit?
Exactly.
It goes a long way with everyone, right?
Timing, man, timing. Trust me, once you time it, you get volley for your shot, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get volley for your shot. So,
Yeah. And what did you like to play? Where did you like to play? Straight down the ground?
I'm in the V.
down that way?
Yeah, I'm
In
in
the
the
V?
V. Yeah, I'm in the V.
That's why you preferred it?
As an opening batsman, the ball doing around, you try and target that area, mid-off and mid-on.
Yeah.
Should be your target area as an opening batsman to start it. You know what I'm saying? Try and eliminate square the wicket. Early up in the innings, first two overs, try and eliminate that as much as possible.
Yeah.
But my target is pretty much down.
Yeah.
And depends on the bowler as well, because you can analyze a bowler and you can read a bowler quickly as well. And you can know exactly how he's going to come up against you.
Yeah.
And then you can set yourself in that position because you have like two stock delivery and you can set yourself for those two stock delivery. And when you miss those, you can,
Go into
pounce
them.
and you can capitalize on him as much as possible.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely.
it lets me allows me to ask this question to you. Because you've dominated the scene for over a decade and a half, maybe 2 decades, right?
Yeah.
Who are 2 or 3 bowlers that you really enjoyed facing?
Well, I mean, I enjoy all fast bowlers, to be honest with you, because as an opening batsman, it's a competition for me, you know what I'm saying? And I want to outdo the best.
Yeah.
So once you do that as well, the rest will crumble around you.
Yeah.
So if you dominate your best fast bowlers, who's to come? Shaking in their pants, you know what I'm saying? So that's something I kind of, capitalize as well. Feel like I'm gonna take down the main bowler.
Yeah.
If I take down the main bowler, you have this guy's to come back and, you just pretty much, but it's not going to work all the time.
All the time,
It's
yeah.
not going to work all the time, but that's my kind of mentality, going up against, quality
That was your
fast
attitude.
bowlers.
Your attitude was to take down the best.
You have some great, I came across some great fast bowlers since I started my international career.
Yeah.
Up until last World Cup. It was fantastic, man. And it was some great battles. Like I say, as an opener, you'll fail more than you succeed.
Absolutely.
You'll fail more than you succeed. But when you have your moment, you're so dominant and in that form, you want to capitalize on it as much as possible. And, you just give it to them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can say I win most battles against fast bowlers.
Yeah.
I'm the king. I'm the winner.
Against fast bowlers.
Any fast bowler object to that, come see me. Okay? Any fast bowler object to that, come and see the Universe Boss. We can sit one-on-one. We can go in the ring. We can punch it out, or we can never talk about it. Okay?
You heard it from the boss.
One winner. Every single fast bowler.
All right.
I've had a piece of them.
Awesome. So, on the flip side, who are the bowlers in your career that has possibly challenged you the most?
You see, Chaminda Vas, he got me out 5 times in Sri Lanka. And
Wow.
that was more like it's not an excuse, but it's more inexperience. I
Yeah.
made my test debut against Zimbabwe, score century.
Yeah.
You travel, you feel like, you're on a little high, you score your first test 100 as well. And, when I went to Sri Lanka, I scored my first test 100 against Zimbabwe in Zimbabwe. Then remember the Sri Lanka tour after that. But, first time going to Sri Lanka, the subcontinent, the difficulties there. And when I started, when Sri Lanka batted, like, they batted for 2 days.
Yeah.
And you have to open the batting, and sometimes they'll give you like
It's just stiff.
5 overs to go on bat.
You're stiff.
And you cannot get a night watchman.
Yeah.
And it just so happened, Chaminda Bass was, pretty much slow, very, very proper
Swingy.
quality, top class bowler.
Yeah.
And he was a swing, but he was just like, I want the pace.
Yeah. So you like pace on
Yeah,
you.
but he was like, just skill, swing the ball a lot, and and you're in his condition. And he got me out 5 times in the test match. But that was a learning experience. My highest score in that test series was like 40 something. It was a 3 test match series. In the ODIs, I was pretty more dominant on the other side rather than test cricket. And but there was the experience and to feel for such a long time, and you see like 3 new balls, man.
Yeah.
When Sangakkara, Mahela, Jayasir and those guys batting, man.
You just keep batting, don't they?
Everybody score. Okay, I want 100 today. West Indies. So it was like an experience, It was, and I think that series, Brian Lara scored so many runs as well.
Yeah.
Brian Lara scored so many runs and Kalupa, and I didn't even, maybe I saw maybe 1 or 2 ball against Mulitaran in that test series because I was always out early, yeah, in and out. I don't know if I got like 3 ducks or something like that, but it was just one of those.
Anybody else in T20 cricket who kind of troubled the boss
that was
a little
test
bit?
cricket. I mean, go up against in test cricket, Wasim Akram. I faced Wasim Akram. That was probably my 3rd test match. After I made my debut against Zimbabwe, then we played Pakistan in Guyana. That was my 3rd test match. And I batted at number 6, Wasim Akram with the whole ball. I'm like, wow. Some in-duckers.
Yeah.
And I think Moin Khan was a keeper. And, we have Mushi as well. Mushi got me out eventually. But they say, youngster, you survived the big man with the whole ball, I'm like, I guess that's a booster.
Yeah.
Because Wasim Akram with the whole ball, left-hander, destroy your toe, your stump.
Yeah.
And I bat him out. And then I see Mushi, this little man. Who is this little leg spinner? I say, this is chalk and cheese, man. I'm gonna destroy you, Mushi. Mushi, toss it up. Oh, man. It's not there. It's up there. Felt like I got 100 in the 6th over. When Finchy was looking around like, who's he going to call to bowl? And everybody's like looking into the stand. They're not looking at the captain.
Best bowler you faced?
He hasn't been born, but anyway. Let's see. The fan base RCB, one of the best I've experienced. Yeah. One of the best. Wow, who's that guy?
Yeah.
They're like, wow, he's so fashionable. Oh, he's amazing. He's a cricketer. Is that Chris Gayle?
Chris Gayle needs no hype man.